My name is Carolyn Egan, and I'm co-chair of the Toronto Health Coalition and president of the Steelworker Toronto Area Council. And I bring greetings to you today from Shirley Douglas, who's the honorary chair of the Toronto Health Coalition and founder. As all of you know, her father, Tommy Douglas, spent his entire life working to provide universal health care for every man, woman, and child in this country. He started out in Saskatchewan and fought a huge battle there with the insurance companies, the doctors, the privateers, those who wanted to keep health care private. He fought hard and he worked hard with unions, with farmers' organizations, with church groups. And the ordinary people of Saskatchewan met in union halls, in church basements, around kitchen tables, coming together to see how they could fight against the huge business interests that were trying to keep health care private. And by coming together, they used the collective power that was theirs, and they were able to succeed. But not until they defeated a nasty strike by the physicians in that province, who along with the insurance companies withdrew their services from the working people and the farmers of that province. They took away the health care so that people who were suffering heart attacks, kids with broken legs, women trying to have babies, were denied. But what happened? Douglas and all his supporters outsmarted them, because they were in touch with doctors from every corner of the world who flew in to Saskatoon, who flew into Regina, went to the health care centers, the hospitals, the doctors' offices, and they provided that necessary health care. And the working people of Saskatchewan were able to beat the insurers, beat the privateers, beat the doctors, and they won public health care in this country. And we're seeing today that those same forces, the insurance companies, the privatizers, are trying to do the same. We won universal health care across this country, and they're trying to take it away, piece by piece, piece by piece. And we're here to tell the provincial government, Catherine Wynne, the Minister of Health, that we will not allow it. Healthcare local coalitions across this province have been fighting hospital closures, layoffs, privatizing of necessary services and departments, piece by piece by piece. And we're saying enough is enough. We want a full-scale public universal health care in this province, and we're going to fight for it. And that's why we're here today, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. And I want to introduce now our first speaker, who is Chris Buckley, President of the Ontario Federation of Labour, which, as you know, is Canada's largest provincial federation.
Thank you, sister, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. You know, the pre-budget consultations have been going on for a number of weeks. All three political parties are taking part in these pre-budget consultations, but we know one political party will be making the decisions. So we're here today to send Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals a very strong message. A strong message to stop the austerity agenda. This is not the Ontario we want, sisters and brothers. We've had over 9 long years of austerity measures, and look at the province that we're ending up with. 1.7 million Ontarians earn at or near minimum wage. How do you survive on minimum wage in today's economy? It's near impossible. You can't purchase a house. You can't raise a family. You can't make any major purchases or contribute back to your community and spending power. It's time that we lift workers out of poverty. All the more reason. Look at that banner. $15 an hour minimum wage. $15 in fairness.
I now want to introduce a well-known speaker to you, Natalie Mara, the well-loved Executive Director of the Ontario Health Coalition. And as many of you know, this is an organization representing more than 500,000 people across this province.
We came here with one message and one clear message only. It is beyond time that the hospital cuts, the devastating hospital cuts that are happening across Ontario, be stopped. I want to welcome you here today. In partnership with the Ontario Federation and the Ontario Common Front, we've traveled across the province to all of the pre-budget hearings for Ontario. And today, MPPs from all three political parties are meeting in the legislature to hear from Ontarians about what we want in the provincial budget. but we have given them the reasoned submissions. We have given them the evidence, and yet the hospital cuts across this province still continue. So we're here today in protest to say we will not just provide you with the evidence, we will ratchet up community actions across Ontario. We will mobilize and we will protect our public hospital services.
Speaker, who is Pam Frake, the provincial coordinator of the 15 in Fairness campaign. Pam?
Sisters and brothers, I'm so honored to be here today because this really is, in my view, the fight of our lives. There's been two important themes that the speakers have addressed, and that is the critical fight against austerity, and combined with that, the critical fight to put universality back on the political agenda so that we have minimum standards for all. And whether we're talking about healthcare or whether we're talking about the workplace, the time is now to group our struggles and fight on every front to address this critical issue.
So I'd next like to introduce Carol Baker, who is the community co-chair of the Ontario Common Front. Carol.
Greetings, friends. Greetings from the Ontario Common Front. It may be a warm day, but that does not change the fact that Ontarians have been left out in the cold for too long. 3 years ago, the Ontario Common Front released its report, Falling Behind, containing shocking findings of income inequality and declining social programs, many of which have been discussed today. This past November, in our follow-up report, Backslide, we revealed that the Wynne government's record on public services continues to be the worst in Canada. Inequities in access to health care and every social program is the most extreme in Ontario and getting worse. Friends, we simply cannot continue to accept a declining share of the wealth in this province. There continues to be an alarming number of unemployed and low-wage workers, vast increases in part-time work and underemployment. Ontario is still an extremely wealthy province, and it is apparent here in Toronto that those who are riding high continue to soar, while our incomes stagnate, while poverty continues to increase, and our access to health care and social services continues to be dismal.
I'd like now to introduce the Raging Grannies, who are going to entertain you with some of their political satire made to music.
We're not entertainment, we're serious, and we're right with you. This song is called Big Parade. Here come the grannies leading the big parade of people fed up with cutbacks and need. Join us in marching, singing, ta-ra, 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 we want an end to corporate greed. Join with the grannies singing for Medicare, supporting health care whenever we're in need. Join us in marching, singing, ta-ra, 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 we want an end to callousness and greed. Children, elders, wealthy and not so rich, deserve full access to public Medicare. We don't want Bay Street or Wall Street to profit off PhilHealth. We'll sing out loud to save our Medicare. Sing with the grannies, this is a crisis now. Society's lost unless we pay heed. Join us in marching, singing, ta-ra, 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 we want an end to callousness and greed.
Thank you all for coming today. Together we can stop the cuts. Together we can build the Ontario we want. Thank you so much. Bye now.